We will try to understand five MLOps Python programs, uh, like beginner level. First is data versioning. So in machine learning operations, data set is critical, and based on the data, we are creating model. So the data versioning is very important. So to make data catalog for versioning, and we can track the data set at any point in time. Like if we make any change, then our data is being versioned. So we can use a specific version at any point in time. For this data versioning, we have HashLib, one of the module. From the HashLib module, we use MD5 function, and in the MD5 function, we pass the data. And how we pass the data is like first we create a function. In the function, we pass the uh, file path where data is stored, and then we use with keyword. This with keyword is to open and close a file. And this is open. This is a function, built-in function. So in this open function, we are passing the parameter which we have passed here, and we are telling to open this in a raw read-only mode, and we are giving an alias as f so that we can access later with this f, like we accessed here f dot read. This is with open function, we open the file in the read mode, and then with read function, we are reading the data and storing it in this data object. And then this data object where we have uh, read the content, we are passing as a parameter in MD5. And then we're using hexadigest function, that is to give this a unique hash value. Uh, it would be good for tracking the data set. And here, second, we have the training. Um, so after the data set is being versioned, we use training um, like to train the model. So for training the model, we have this linear regression um, module that we have imported from the scikit-learn framework. We have the linear model, and then we have imported test, train test split. This is one of the module that we have imported from model selection that belongs to again the scikit-learn framework. And then we have NumPy, that is for numerical computation, and we are accessing it as NP. After importing the modules for algorithm, then for splitting the data and for the sampling data, then we're using this numpy.array. We are passing this matrix, that is a sample two-dimensional data into this capital X variable, and then we are using np.array where we are passing a list of values that is we are storing in small y variable. So this is a sampling of data which we are doing here by storing value in capital X and small y. And after this, then we have to split this entire data for the one set is for test, that is for test, and this is for train. And we have their respective respective prediction against this matrix, like the vector against this matrix. And this is the function which we have imported. We are using this here, train test split, and we are passing the parameters the of the sample data like x and small y, and in the test size we can define whether we want 20% or 30%. Accordingly, we can give the values in this parameter. We'll be able to split the data, and after splitting of data, we have to train the model. And for training the model, we need algorithm. So we are using linear regression algorithm. So this we have stored in the model. And then model dot fit function we are using by passing the training data set, like the sample and the feature as in parameter in the dot fit function. So this will train the model. Now the model is being trained successfully. Third comes saving this model which we have created and loading this model. Then we are using job-lib. We are importing job-lib. If we'll see here in that is hash lib we used for hashing or versioning our data set, and job lib we use to do the model versioning. So job lib module, we're using dump function, joblib.dump function, and we are passing the um, model which we have created in the training script. This model which we have created, model. So the same model we are passing in the model versioning. So we are saving this model as linear model dot pickle, and then after saving the model, giving the dot pickle as an extension to our model, then we are loading this model. Again, for the loading, we have joblib dot load, and then we are passing the name which we have given in saving the model um, block. And then this is loaded now successfully. And then comes evaluation. Once the data set is being versioned, then the linear regression algorithm we use to train the data, and then that trained data is converted into model version, and then that model is being saved and versioned now. That model will use in the evaluation. So again, we have that sklearn framework. From this framework, we are accessing matrix, and from the matrix, we have mean squared error as a module, and then the model which we have loaded here, this loaded model, this .pickle file which we have loaded, we will be accessing here in the evaluation, and we are using .predict function on the test sample data. We're using capital X underscore test. If we'll see here in the um, training script, we have splitted the data. So from that training script, we are accessing this data in the evaluation. And then the module which we have imported, we are using mean squared error function, and we're passing the parameter that is the test vector and the predictions which we have stored in this object. Um, like the model which we have saved and loaded onto that model, we are predicting and saving it in the prediction object, and the same object we are referring here as in parameter. So onto these predictions, this vector will run, and this is stored in this variable. So that is to check mean square error. So this is a evaluation script, and after the evaluation script, so now our model is just a .pickle file, right? But how we will convert .pickle file to access for an other API so that it can predict when a request come. So to convert it into an API, we are importing Flask class and Um, request module this the request which is coming, that would be converted into JSON. That's why we're using request module. And JSONify we're using because the .pickle model which we have created, um, that language is different. That is that is using an array NumPy language, but the language which web understand, the web browsers, that is JSON. So with the help of this model, we'll be able to convert the model language into the web browser language. So this is a class, and this is uh, built-in Python variable which we're passing, and we are storing in this app object. Now the model which we have created in the model versioning script, so that model we are joblib.load. We are loading that model, and we're saving that model into this this variable. Now this is a decorator. The function of decorator, we know that without changing its original code, it will enhance the feature. So this the instance which we have created, the same instance we are accessing here, and we're using route function, that is to define where the user request will hit. So it will hit slash product predict, and the method, that is to post, like it will send the prediction at this particular path when a user will request. Then this is a predict function which we are creating, and in this predict function we're passing the module which we have imported, request.json. So it will convert the request into JSON and will store in this data variable. Now the web will understand this language. So model like this, we have stored this model file. On this model file, it will run dot predict function, and it will have the data, the request which is sent by the user, and the value, and that would be stored in the prediction variable. And after this, it will convert this prediction, which is done here, into a dictionary, like into a JSON, so that the web can understand. So the first prediction it will mm, map against the prediction, and this is if name that is inbuilt, and this main, whatever the logic is written, it will run in a debug mode. So this is to start a web server. So this is like how data is being versioned. Once the data set is versioned, then we are training the model, and then we are saving the version of that model which we have trained, like .pickle file, and then we are accessing .pickle file here, and we are deploying it by wrapping it into a Flask API. So this is how the basic concept of MLOps that one should know